the 54 countries and its human beings are on as diverse as it gets. He's a bit love lumping New York and nuke by one sticker. Yet, pundits and presidents, seemingly, love to summarize. And US CEO Donald Trump card covered his at first year by denting his authorities' urge in Africa. While Trump card according to reports called to African countries as shithole, that he after rejected, it was a trope known to countrymen of the mainland. The type of sweep and occasionally bigot synthesis of the mainland and its human beings how is not unusual in the US, Europe and Asia. He's not the mood house remarkable, he's how it according to reports came of the CEO of the joint state. And it ruined the stamp of silent of African governments. Direct talking Trump card? But does the shithole legend include any actual effect on the US relation in countries in Africa? Yes and no. Lot are skeptical how it will include any steady effect, especially with African governments, love lot other, our departure to attract in real politics in America. Usually, they are more than worried in results. While Trump card met in African leaders in September, he betrothed in several feature direct say. Africa has terrible industry capacity, I include so lot friends departure to yours countries hard to get wealthy, he told. Trump card stunned several and grown inconvenient questions on colonialist-style operation. But it was perhaps precisely which lot industry leaders of Lagos to Johannesburg requested to listen. And really various of which they were utilized to. A lose prospect? Barack Obama's African protection, his dad was unborn in Koglo, Kenya, was a resource of honor for Lot. But the Obama Authority really thoroughly connected invest and collaboration in Africa to nice management and clarity, as is the rule for U.S. administrations. In the meanwhile, China has swept in the mainland in far less strings assigned. In 2015, Xi Jinping incorporated to put a future $60 trillion in Africa. African leaders in an eye for deals welcomed the arrival of a industry magnate CEO in Trump card, they saw buck signs. Africa has several of the fastest growing economies in the planet and lot are grounded for much stronger industry and trading protection in the US. But the authorities' relation in the direction Africa is more than noticeable for its gaps, rather than its accomplishments. The country division yet doesn't include a constant aid registrar of country for African sphere. And down there is yet no envoy to Southward Africa, a key policy nominee in the mainland's largest progressive economics. Caution of policies? Of year, deals in governments in Africa often don't gain the human beings. But Trump card's policies could wound common countrymen through the mainland. Eventually, convention decides on overseas aid budgets, but the White's building didn't win any friends on the mainland for the one ex-Obama aide formal named Trump card policies on Africa incredibly brutal. Guns and airstrikes the largest busy part the US has played in Africa hasn't been trading or assistance. He's been war. Taking into account a freer restraint by the captain in head, the Pentagon has noticeably enlarged strikes on terrorism-related targets in Somalia. In Western Africa, less strikes include happened, but down there are more than boots on the land. U.S. Africa Team, AFRICOM, war present in the Sahel is expansion and he's wherever they include outdoor a new home basis, in spite of fatal patrolling in Niger how done world headlines. The U.S. war present is seen by AFRICOM as a key stronghold, break the extension of ISIS and al-Qaeda-linked groups of destabilizing provincial governments and menacing the U.S. motherland. The U.S. as necessary collaboration of African countries in the struggle versus terrorism, African countries requirement U.S. firepower and examination. The lower link, U.S. allies in Africa are key to us trading and defense interests. All policy is regional lot love their leaders. Africans in several key countries seem to at first include a expectancy attitude to the Trump card chairmanship. But the absence of focus the authority has paid to Africa, the policies it has prosecuted, and the comments ascribed to the CEO include all undertaken a duty. In lot countries in Africa, leaders aren't named for creature revealed in the as necessary of the human beings. But now the human beings are revealed in a pair of year back, down there were already more than rather than 200 millionth clever telephone users in Africa. The quantity is visually high currently. And African leaders and the African Association appear to be take their cue of their countrymen' view of Trump card. For the time, Trump card is a policy obligation for several key African political community. And it isn't manufacturing the country division or Pentagon's job through Africa any facilitating.